Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I went on a bit of a shopping spree. What I did is I went on the Lionel website. I've kind of had this method for a little while, but I don't think I've ever said it. Is when you see some of the older cars that I pick up, those are usually because it's like last few or last one or something like that, something where it's very limited of an old car. So it's like, well, I mean, now's the best time to get it. And that's what I did here. Plus, I also got cars that I know I would never find in NASCAR Authentics, in the Walmarts or Target or whatever. But not all of them. As you can see, I got 4 Harvicks. These are all fairly new. There's still plenty in supply, but I figured Busch is on the car. Authentics has only ever had one alcohol sponsorship ever, and that was actually a Harvick Busch car. But these 4 were not part of it. Plus, there's actually a couple more that I could have gotten but didn't. There was like one from 2017, 2 from 2017, I think. But I think one of those 2 was actually the one that they did use in the Walmart waves. And the other one was like Busch Bucks or whatever. He's basically just a money car, which is kind of cool, but maybe some other time. Like I said, there's plenty more in stock. And these 3 all were on the last few. As I'm filming this, they are still available technically. And with the Cindric car, there's actually one, I think is Majeski, that's exactly the same. Still plenty of Majeskis left, but this one, Cindric, was very limited, so I got that. Like I said, this was very limited as well. Bubba Wallace, Cosmopolitan. And this was actually not. It's a little bit of a disappointment. But I guess it goes to show that you can't really trust the renders that much when you see it on the website. Because this, as advertised, was like, these are all on stands. You can tell because it says adult collectible. This was supposed to be one of those. And it would have the Monster logo on the hood next to the state filters, and it would have it on the quarter panel. Now, I actually did pre-open this to see if it did, and it did not. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but I doubt that at this point, because this is kind of an old car, that Authentics would put this out, at least this year's version. This is actually just last year, so I guess it's not as old as I thought. But at this point, I don't see them rolling out this in any wave. So I think we're good with that. But it's just a little bit of disappointment that it's not exactly as advertised. And also, I know I've mentioned previously even that with a lot of the more recent cars they've been releasing, or maybe not releasing, they're in pre-order stage, they actually have the Monster logo on the side and on top of the windshield. Now, as much as I hope that they actually implement that, I don't know if that's just a placeholder or what, because that car and this car were supposed to have that as well, according to the render. And this one, as you can see, it does have alcohol sponsorship, so why not have Monster Energy on there as well, like it said it would in the render. But no, as you can see, it's not on there. So it's weird. So if it's a render, it's usually accurate, but not 100%. But yeah, that's enough of that. It's not necessarily a rant. I'm not really mad at any of this. They're still pretty cool cars, but it's just weird how that happened. But yeah, let's open these up. Actually, before we do that, I actually forgot to mention one by one what these were, even though you can see what they are, but just specifically. First, we have the Kevin Harvick Busch Light Mobil 1 2018 car. And then we have the Kevin Harvick Mobil 1 Busch Beer. So basically the opposite. Sticker's getting away. They don't even do the holograms anymore, so these are eventually going to go away. Then you have the Kevin Harvick Busch Beer Flannel car, which was this Talladega who used it? I don't remember. And then you have the Kevin Harvick, in all caps this time, Busch Beer Darlington, which is really cool, actually. This is one of the ones that there's very few left, the Ryan Newman Cabelas car. And I'm surprised this wasn't in an Authentics wave at any point. because it seems like that would be a popular car, which clearly it was on the website. We have the Kurt Busch State Water Heaters. And we have the Darrell Wallace Jr., the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas 2018 car. And we have the Austin Syndrich. Okay, it just says Ford. 2018 car. Oh, I guess it really is just Ford. But yeah, I was kind of looking at the Bubba Wallace cars and was like, I'm surprised this wasn't there. Then I remembered he had like at least 8 different paint schemes this year, at least. So like to roll all of them out would be a hassle, because I got at least 2 of them from Authentics this year. Click and Close car, which I think was only even used at Daytona, but he finished 3rd, so it's like that's a hot commodity. And there was something else. Oh yeah, the racing experience car. That's at least 2 of them. There might be more. I don't remember. But anyway, let's finally open these. Okay, so here we are. In case you're wondering, the ones that have stands on them all do have this notice. This product is mounted to a base using a specialized screw as required by a licensor and or other regulatory agencies. So yeah. I may or may not also do a video on how to literally saw these off. Because I know some people like just leave them like this, either by choice or by not, but like obviously these screws, they're sealed in, so you can't actually get to the screws anymore. So some people may not know how to do it. I don't know. I assume lots of people do, but I also see some people who just can't figure it out. So I may or may not do a video on that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's hold off on the 4 mounted ones. You can see them right here, but let's hold off on them until I actually do have them off the stands. Let's take a look here at the Ryan Newman Cabela's Bass Pro Shops car, which is, I don't know how much it was used, but what is this? Cabela's Club Rewards, woo! But I know it was at least used in Daytona. Like I said, I'm surprised this never made it into an actual wave this year. I feel like it would have been popular. And one thing that you get that's different from the website is you actually get the nameplates on there. And then here we have the Kurt Busch State Water Heaters car. So like I said, it is a tiny bit disappointing because it wasn't exactly as advertised, but whatever. I don't see that being in any wave. So here we have the Bubba Wallace Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas car, which was used in Las Vegas, surprisingly enough. I know, right? It's very, very surprising. Never would have guessed. You have a screw here. You can undo that if you really wanted to. Here we have the Austin Cindric Xfinity Series Ford. Yeah. This is a car that will no longer be used because Roush Fenway is shutting down their Xfinity program. So there will be no more of this starting this year. So anyway, that is it for those 4 cars. These 4 mounted cars I'm going to try to saw off. Like I said, maybe make a video, who knows. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I actually have no idea where the saw is. It's somewhere downstairs. We have so many tools. I could not find one saw out of all those tools. So my method is rendered useless at the moment until I can find that. So there won't be a separate video for this at least. And I'm going to show you another method, an alternative method that actually honestly works better, because in the saw method, first of all, there shouldn't be something stuck on that tire. In the saw method, you still get a little bit of a bump right here, and you know, if you're using it for display purposes, it's not really that bad. But then you go to pick it up and it's kind of and there's like a bump there and it's weird. So this is honestly, I think, a better method, but there's already a video on YouTube. Might link to it if I remember. Hopefully I remember. So I'm just going to show you right here instead of making a separate video on it. Let me actually get a stand so I can do this with two hands and still show you guys. Okay, I think that should be good. Just gotta try to keep it in focus here. So basically, I'm gonna make this quick since this is part of the main video. What we want to do is just, has to be a small pair of pliers like this. I can't tell you the exact measurements, but basically this small. I tried bigger ones, it didn't work. The way these stands work, all you gotta do is just squeeze and it snaps. See that crack down the middle? You do the same thing on the other side, and it basically splits in two, or should. Seems like it's being held on just barely right here. We good now? Okay, so it is separated. However, it didn't go over as well as the last one did because they're still being blocked by each other. There we go. So basically, you just want to screw these off. They should come off at this point. And there we go. This one actually, oh no, it is just the hole. It looked like there was still part of the screw left in it, but there wasn't. So pretty much, yeah, just do this, and you should be all good. And like I said, this is honestly, I think, a better method than the one I used to use, or still use, but couldn't find the saw. It is a little bit better. Now that I have mastered this, like I said, because of there not being like a bump here anymore. Like I have obviously several cars upstairs that now like lift up ever so slightly because of that, and I don't know if there's any way I can fix it at this point because they're already off the stand. But yeah, anyway, that's that. So let me do it to the other two cars and I will be right back. Okay, so now that this is just the last four that I have to review, I didn't feel like going upstairs quite yet, so I'll just do the review here. So anyway, all four of these, as I mentioned, are Harvick cars. They seem pretty good condition now that you don't have that bump. Anyway, this is the Flannel car, which I think was used at Talladega. Looks pretty cool. I like the back bumper. It just goes into yellow. And then, of course, you have all the other sponsors on there, Jimmy Jones, everything. And as I mentioned, it was advertised that there would be a Monster Energy thing there. There's not. So, yeah. Here we have Harvick's Mobil 1 transitioning into Busch on the back. I really like these transition cars. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the cars that transition from one sponsor smoothly into another one that have very different colors, I really enjoy those. Those are really cool, actually. This is a nice touch. And so we can move on. I think a piece of plastic just hit me in the leg. So now we move on to the Darlington car, which obviously has the old Busch logo back when they were still sponsoring what is now the Xfinity series. And I think this is cool as well. All of these paint schemes that I've reviewed today have been awesome. And not even lying, all of these so far have, well, I shouldn't say so far, I can see all of them. All of these today have been great. It's cool to have one with the old Busch logo on it. And now we move on to our 8th and final one of the day. We have Busch Light, which the Busch paint schemes by themselves are pretty cool because you have the mountain, basically a picture of a mountain in the background with all this nature. It's pretty cool. And then you transition over to the Mobil 1. Mobil 1, that sounded weird. Then you have Busch Light again on the back. Same thing on the other side. And I realized what I said before about the old Busch logo. Technically, this is the old Busch logo that was brought back, much like the Miller Lite logo, actually. So this is the original logo. And then at some point in the 90s or 2000s, I don't know, I didn't research, but at some point they moved over to this logo, and then they went back to that one. Like I said, pretty much like Miller Lite. But yeah, that is our, yeah, and Bud Light for that matter. I think all of them seem to do that. All of them went to their old logo again. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you all later. This was a good diecast day. Although I hope to find some more cars in Walmart. I haven't picked one up in over a month. It's been a while. And I haven't seen any Wave 12s yet. I still have 4 to get from Wave 11. And Wave 1 of 2019 was just announced. So, we'll see. But other than that, thanks for watching. And I will see you all later.